I always talk about curriculum in my monthly update videos, but I don't usually go very deep. So today I thought we would dig into them a little bit more and talk about some first impressions I have of our curriculum this year for 10th grade and a bit about 10th grade in general with kiddo number 3. But before we jump into that, I would love to know what you're enjoying or not enjoying this year with your curriculum. If you're trying something new or an old favorite, whatever, just let me know something down in the comments. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Tricia, and this is our 17th year of homeschooling. My oldest kiddo is in grad school, and then I have a 12th grader, and then my youngest, Matthew, is in 10th grade, and that's who we're going to talk about today. I'm specifically going to talk about 4 of our subjects: science, geography, math, and writing. I'll talk about what we're using, what it's like, and then what things we're liking and disliking about each one. Now, since this is my 3rd kiddo, you would think I might have 10th grade down. But I feel like this year especially, or this grade specifically, is one where I feel like I am starting all over. I wouldn't say that about most other grades we've done, but there's something about this year that just feels harder, like it's my first time with 10th grade. It feels a lot like we're on like this, what's the word, precipice? Like things teeter-tottering, like things are barely balanced right now, and things could either go really good or not so good as the year goes on. So, we'll see what's going to happen. I don't know. It may just be that I'm reading too much into things. Okay, so let's start with science biology. My kiddo is doing 2 sciences this year. He's doing chemistry through our co-op, and I'm not going to talk about that one. The other one, though, he is doing is AP Biology through Blue Tent Academy. This is our first time using Blue Tent, and Blue Tent uses a combination. Their class itself is hosted on a Moodle platform, which is like a Canvas Google Classroom. That's what my daughter's college used, was Moodle. And then they are using the AP Bio textbook by Mater. Once a week they have a live class as well, hour and a half on Wednesdays. So the basic format of the class is that on Mondays she sends out what she calls a Monday Minute, little notes about what's coming up in the week. In it includes the assignments, the reading material, information about any labs, etc. Each week they have chapter or 2 to read. They have questions that they need to answer. Sometimes there's a lab. The beginning of the year, so before now, they've had labs that we've had to order supplies for or purchase supplies for. From here out, they are all done on the computer. But I don't know if they are like ones where you watch someone doing a lab, or it's like a virtual one where you are interacting with the lab. I asked and he wasn't really sure, so we'll find out because he's got his first one this week. And then Wednesdays, they meet live. All their assignments are due by Sunday evening. So the work week goes Monday to Sunday, and class meets in the middle of the week. Blue Tent says that the class is for 10th, 11th, and 12th graders who have already completed a high school biology course. They also recommend, but don't require, that you have taken chemistry and algebra 2. Well, he is taking those concurrently. And so far it's been okay, but I can definitely see, especially for chemistry, how it would be nice to have already completed that before you take this class. Because there is a lot of chemistry, even so far, that they've talked about. And like I said, so far it's all been okay, but I just feel like we're kind of teetering on things. My first impression of the class itself is it's fantastic. My first impression of my student in the class, I wish I had listened to my gut and waited. My original plan was that he would do dual enrollment biology next year. But for various reasons, we decided to switch to AP Bio this year. And while he has an A, I feel like maybe next year he would have had an A with less stress, less overwhelm. But it is what it is. We're in the class now. At the very least, though, I wish that we had done a refresher this summer, whether it was some Khan Academy biology or something. I wish that we had done that. I think it would have set him up to be doing this a little more easily. Now, specifically, things that I am liking about the class. I love the teacher. She is she explains things very well. I like that she directs everything to the student, not to the parents. So, to help them take on that responsibility, I think that's such a vital thing. She's very clear in her conversations and her teaching. I have had to communicate with her outside of class, and she's been very helpful. Not rude at all, but definitely with a hint of like, here's the answer, but your student needs to figure this out. Which I think is great. It's too easy as homeschool parents to be the one to initiate that kind of stuff, that kind of communication when the student can. Now, in this case, I did need to be the one communicating with her, but I appreciate that. It's a skill that not enough kids have. I didn't have it well when I went to school even, so. I also like that during class, there's the chat, and kids are chatting, and sometimes she'll go off the trail and follow them and answer their kind of interesting or weird kind of questions. And I like that because in this class, you have kids who are operating at a higher level with science. And when they get inquisitive about something, like, feed it. You guys know that I want to encourage my kids to be curious. And I like that she helps encourage that along. You guys know I have a love-hate relationship with labs. These have been very good labs. Clear purpose of what they are trying to get out of it. Instructions are clear, clearly designed, all of it. I also like that she's included the lab supplies before like the Monday of. They've come out a week or two ahead of time, which I really appreciate because that's one of my hardest things about labs is that is getting all the supplies gathered up. However, the thing I don't like about the class itself is that the details of the assignments are only coming out on Mondays. So we cannot look ahead to see what he needs to do the following week so that we can properly adjust if, for example, that week is going to be a busy one. If I knew ahead of time what his work was, I could kind of move it up and allow for that. But I figure if that's the only con I have so far, that's not a bad one. Okay, let's stick with AP. He is also doing AP Human Geography this year. Our original plan had been to do U.S. History, but we're doing that next year instead. So this year he wanted to do Human Geography, and so that's fine, but if we're going to do another AP course, my line is that we cannot do another live class. One more hard set of deadlines I feared was going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm glad that I did that. So we went with Global Academic Productions, self-paced AP Human Geography. Now this was kind of hard to find on their website. I ended up Googling for all of that term and it came up. So I don't know if it's just one they don't really promote. Anyway, this is written by a social studies teacher actually here in North Carolina. This class uses Canvas, and everything is contained in it as far as the materials go. The videos are embedded, the reading materials embedded. He does have to go outside of Canvas to do some of the writing activities, but everything else is contained in here. Even the quizzes and tests are in it. Now, there are not what I would say like a traditional test for each unit. There are, but I don't know. I don't love it. The thing I do not like about this course is that there is no way to download all of the reading material either by unit or by subject or by the entire course at once. So you have to go lesson by lesson to download the reading material. If you wanted to download it for offline reading, print it, there's no easy way to do that. I would prefer, and he would prefer, when to do like a text type of reading, that it's printed out. Unfortunately, you can do it, it's just you have to do it each lesson, which is something that I'm not great at doing well. I'm working on it, and so far we've done a mixture of them, but I really wish that was available. Now, each unit has various modules in it, and there is a pacing guide. Within each unit, length of the unit varies, but there will be readings, videos, quizzes, activities. It's a really good mixture of items. The reading is well written. It's all been enjoyable so far. But I wish that there was a way to download at once or by unit all of the reading materials. Two other things that I like about it are that some of the items are auto-graded. So anything that has like a quiz or a test on there gets all auto-graded. Love that. On the other hand, a negative is that there is no grading rubric for the other things. So the activities that he's doing or the writings, there's nothing to guide you on what you should be looking for, how to grade. I'm okay with that for this course, but especially for the price, because I think it was like $60 for it, so the price was fantastic, especially compared to the AP Bio course, but I would rather see it be a little more expensive and include some additional resources like that. That's my own opinion. However, I get the sense that this is the same thing that he uses for their live classes, in which case he's grading it, so I get that, but still, I think it would be a better option for more homeschool parents if there was some grading involved, or some guidance on grading. Okay, let's talk about math next. He is doing Algebra 2 this year, and we are again using Math Without Borders, which uses Forster's Algebra, which he used for Algebra 1, along with instructional videos. Each lesson, you start with a video, then you have the textbook for doing the problems. And I love this combination of having someone else teach it, like you're sitting in a classroom, but then you also have the textbook for offline for working it. The videos also come with solution videos. So you can buy the optional answer key for the textbook, but those are just the answers. So if you need help seeing how to actually complete a problem, that's not going to be very helpful for you. So the videos include him working in separate video from the teaching one. He does a video where he will work the whole problems. And he does that for all of the assigned problems, not just a few of them. I absolutely love that. In fact, that's usually what I browse through, at least a couple problems at the beginning and then a couple of the end problems each lesson, so that I'm ready to help him if he needs it. Obviously, since this is our third year, we really enjoy Math Without Borders and this textbook. I think the textbook is really well laid out. It is an older textbook. I used a version of this text in high school. I mean, it's an old one, but it's got a strong reputation and has been around forever for good reason. It is an excellent textbook. If you want to see inside of it, I have a video where I look inside the Algebra 1 version, and the layout for Algebra 2 is basically identical. So that will give you a good idea of it. And I have in the plans a video where I'm going to show you kind of how you look inside of Math Without Borders, see what you get, show my setup, etc. If you have a kiddo who just needs the math credit, like they're not probably going to end up doing anything math related in college or after high school, I would probably not choose this one. I would probably go with Mr. D's, or at least look at it. I think that's a fantastic program. I think it's a great, it's what one my other son used. My daughter used Lyle's with live classes from myhomeschoolmathclass.com, and that was fantastic. Matthew just needs a self-paced version of math. And this has been, like I said, it's our third year using it. It's been one of the best choices we've made come high school. Now let's talk about writing. We are using Write at Home. Write at Home uses Canvas, the Canvas platform, and it is an asynchronous class. So there are set deadlines each week, Thursday at noon, but there's no live class, and otherwise it's all self-paced within the week. If you're not familiar with Write at Home, each week there is some kind of a little reading material and a quiz that goes over it, and then they work on a writing piece. It may be that they're writing a new piece, or they are revising an older one. Each piece of writing goes through 2 rounds of feedback and revisions before they submit it for final. Ben has used it for 10th grade and 11th grade. And so when I started thinking about Matthew this year, this is what I opted for. He is a very average to above average writer. Like, he can get it done. However, he likes to write what he likes to write. And none of my kids have appreciated writing feedback from me. So that combination of wanting to write not necessarily what I want him to write, which he can, but if I'm going to cite a longer paper or some creative topic, I may get a little resistance. He would do it. But in that, I don't know. Friends, writing is one thing that I decided when my daughter was in high school that, like, this was not going to be a relationship issue. There are certain subjects that I do not mind getting resistance from. But writing is one that I do not. And my kids don't, none of my kids have appreciated any writing feedback from me. And I don't know why. Like, I'm a decent writer, but I don't know. So, outsourcing writing has been something I've done with each of them in high school. Going back to my point about with human geography that I didn't want hard deadlines, I didn't want hard deadlines with writing either. So if I don't want a live class and I don't want to do it myself, there are not a lot of writing options. Write at Home, I knew would be a fine fit. Hasn't been a great fit. I don't know. Will we use it next year? Ask me again at the end of the year. Not because it's Write at Home. I've been very pleased with that. I just don't know that it's best for him. I like that there's more than one option to do some revision work. I like that someone else is doing the grading. They are very quick with grading, which was my fear when we first started the class with Ben. Like I said, I have been pleased with the program. I just don't know that I'm pleased with it being a fit for him. However, we are not going to, unless something major happens, we are not switching this mid-year. That is, I would if we really needed to, but I don't foresee any reason why we will need to, and I am crossing my fingers that we won't. Like I said, friends, this year has just been, I'm really unsettled with it, and there's nothing that I can see wanting to make a change on. And I would if we needed to, but I am just, now we're on week, I think, 12. I'm just now feeling like, okay, maybe things are going to be okay. We will see. Anyway, that is kind of my first impressions of 10th grade and our curriculum with Matthew this year. Like I said, if you want to share something that you're liking or not liking, I would love to know. Leave me comments down there, and I will see you in the next video.